Last chance as 2-year-olds for Kentucky Derby points in the Gun Runner coming up on Monday at the fairgrounds. Road to the Derby kickoff day. Joe Kristufek and Kevin Kilroy. And Kevin, inaugural running of the Gun Runner last year. And who would have thought the 1-2 finishers would be involved? The winner was Epicenter, but Rich Strike, a lot of people forget, finished fifth.
Yeah, Rich Strike is one that we slept on. You know, we didn't really take that horse out of there and cash on it. At least I didn't, Joe. But it's also, a race that we're thinking about, not just who's going to win in the Derby, but who's the now horse. I think we might have a couple of those in here.
10, 4, 3, 2, 1 points on the road to the Kentucky Derby. And Brad Cox is loaded, Kevin, the entire card on Monday. He's got the morning line favorite in this year's edition of the Gun Runner, going a mile and a 16th in Jace's Road. But which horse are we going to see show up in this particular event? The horse that ran third in the Iroquois, or the horse that was a distant eighth as the favorite in the Street Sense?
Yeah, that's a big question. I mean, I think we've got some excuses there, right? In the Street Sense with that sloppy track, but still, I didn't see any trip trouble, anything to really to knock that one in those terms and pulling up. It's a question of, if we've got some dirty form there, we could see a step forward that makes Jace's Road just much the best against this field, but it's a big if at a short price.
Yeah, he was miserable that day. He tossed jockey Ferran Drew off prior to the gate load. So you could think that maybe it wasn't his day. He hated the slop. I got a feeling he's going to bounce back. But will he win? That's the question. You look at the potential pace in here. A lot of horses that have some tactical speed, but not a lot of committed front runners. Where did you land?
Well, I landed with Hayes Strike, and I think a lot of it has to do with the pace. I think Jace's Road is going to have some company out front. If you think about determinedly, last two has been sprinting. You think about Race Kane, another sprinter who's stretching out. I think they're going to be going quick in this one. And sometimes with these 2-year-olds, the jockeys just think like, let's just get to the front and near the front and just sort of see how it works out and see if we can make the distance. So Hayes Strike has a lot of, tough starts, a little bit slow, but we've seen him break clean. So I think it's just a matter of getting out of the gate clean, has this rail position. And, I think we can step forward from that last performance.
Yeah, that was a 4-horse photo for second behind Instant Coffee in the Kentucky Jockey Club. And Hayes Strike's got a little bit of a class edge, you could say, based on his last couple of races. He was second in the Street Sense and did not have a clean break and did have an uncomfortable trip that particular afternoon, and then followed that up with the third in the Kentucky Jockey Club. What you see is what you get from Hayes Strike, and it might be good enough. I like the determinedly here, Kevin. This horse has 2-turn experience, interestingly enough, on the turf in New York. Now, that time of year, there's not a lot of 2-turn opportunities on the dirt. So obviously, Mark Cassey, David Carroll, the assistant on the grounds, thought this was a 2-turn horse all along. Cuts back at Keeneland, 7 furlongs, clearly second best behind Arabian Night, one of the most talented 2-year-olds in the country right now. Came back on Stars of Tomorrow Day at Churchill and won that race for fun. It took him 6 tries to break his maiden, but I think we're starting to see what determinedly is capable of.
Yeah, I mean, he had a perfect trip in that last win, but he looked professional once he did pull away, switched leads nicely, galloped out well. I think he'll be able to get the distance. Determinedly is right up there for me. Definitely a main contender in the Gun Runner.
Oscar Performance was a tremendous turf horse during his career, and he's been a very good first crop stallion. Horses have run well on the grass, but surprisingly, some of them have run well on the dirt as well. And that's what the Catman, Wayne Catalano, was hoping with, and the winner is decent try in his only dirt race. That was a sprint. We know this is a 2-turn horse. He proved that he's a 2-turn horse by winning the Bourbon with a scintillating late kick, a grade 2 winner already. But can he convert that form over to the main track at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, can he convert it? And will the pace set up? We're definitely going to have a late runner here. But I think the track's kind of been going in that direction over the past couple of days. We saw a lot of front running efforts be able to hold on the rail. But we just, even just yesterday saw so many great closers come down the middle of the track. So I feel like Corey Lannery's been riding well, knows the track well, and should be able to work out a good trip. It's just a matter if they tire out front. And if the price is right and the winner is, could be very interesting.
Old Alliance at a price intrigues me a little bit. Distant third last out to Giant Mischief, who came back and ran second in the Springboard Mile. Talking to Brad Cox, he is super excited about Giant Mischief moving forward. Old Alliance stretching out to 2 turns for the first time, but certainly is bred for it. Don't forget the Gun Runner is the kickoff race for the Kentucky Derby leaderboard competition. Make sure you opt into TwinSpires. $100,000 up for grabs for the top 100 finishers. Make sure you put in those $25 win bets. Top 2 finishers earn dream trips to Kentucky Derby 149. For Kevin Kilroy, I'm Joe Kristufek. Enjoy the Gun Runner on Road to the Derby kickoff day at the fairground.